What's going on, guys? This is Raymond Ironbite McKinney, and today I want to talk about more on the law of assumption and kind of think of it as an art, kind of an arts and crafts kind of thing. When you hear people maybe talking about law of attraction or assumption, making it sound like it's like this have to mentality. I think that almost kind of implies a forced energy, and it just kind of, it almost kind of is a counterintuitive or kind of contradictory to the law of attraction or assumption. Like, I hear some say, well, in order for law of attraction to work, you got to grind your ass off in order for it to work. And though it appears that way, like our physical selves, it appears that physical work is needed in order to get things done. Here's the truth about the physical world. We're not actually touching anything physical, though it appears that way. It's just energy. When we're assuming that we're always having to force things to happen, matter to matter, we're just gonna make it more difficult on ourselves. Now, hear me out here. I'm not saying to quit your job. Again, I'm not saying to quit your job. I'm not saying to not do anything. Things like, say, if you need to go to the hospital or something, an emergency situation. Yes, those situations, there's hustle. But I want people to get that the law of assumption is the way you see yourself. You give life to everything you put your attention on. My mom had this great prayer that she always talked about to me. If it was like in situations where things seemed to be going sideways, she'd have this prayer saying, let the very best thing work out for me. And whether it was like in my situations or food, because my family went through struggle, but she's one of my inspirations to know that faith is a huge asset when it comes to anything. Assuming that things are working out, assuming that everything's working out for me, and that's her prayer, that everything is working. Let the best thing work out for me. So, assuming doesn't mean always to repeat words like I am this, I am that. People treat me this way. So, sorry guys, there's a dog just a little distracting, but yeah, the law of assumption is not the same that you grind through. It doesn't need to be this grind mentality. I think it's crazy how it's like much of the world seems to like base everything on their five physical senses, where it's like, well, it looks like when you see something, like it's like you have to force things to happen. And it's like many don't utilize their inner subtle faculties such as imagination and inner assumptions, intuition. And intuition is just a deeper psychic. A psychic is just tuning into a deeper intuition. The more deeply in tune you are with intuition, the greater that psychic energy is utilized. So, yeah, law of assumption. It's like And again, I said in so many videos, time and space outside of us do not exist, though it appears that way. This awareness of being is much nearer than your physical organs. And just realize this, that nearness also implies separation. You and this greater knowing, deeper knowing, are one. You and this inner being within you are one. Everything and everyone in your world is one, unified spiritual energy. So it comes down to the point of just assuming how you see yourself in relation to the world, and everything relatively conforms in your favor. When you have an open mind, such as when the student is ready to teach her peers, there's no force in that. The right things will come in your favor. When you let go of control, trying to force things to happen, as no man or woman knows, you have to, because if you rely on just your 5 physical senses, you're just going to limit yourself to a more manageable lifestyle. When you realize that you can assume and have that deeper faith that everything was working in your favor, that let the best things work out for you, they will. And you have to be so confident in that bold assumption within you. And again, not force, but just to rest in that assumption. To prepare that place, prepare that assumption that things are already worked out, that it's already done. So yeah, I hope this video helps, touching more in on the law of assumption. And yeah, just look as just like a game, kind of like pretend like a little kid again. I'm not saying to act like a little kid, but just to live like it, subtly live like that little kid. Life is yours. So I bless you all and happy manifesting.